Bethesda released a surprise hotfix, but nothing is solved yet. Meanwhile, there are new details about the upcoming Expedition to the Pit, and so much more. It's news time! Hello everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. I am Marta Branco and ready to bring you the latest events in 76. This past Saturday, July 10, Bethesda released a hotfix without patch notes to address multiple exploits and ensure players can at least play with some sense of normality. Anyway, during this video I will also talk about the latest expedition details and future coverage. Let's not forget about Minerva and why she hasn't been around at all, the Cardinal bird and the new gold bullion cap, which is not working as intended, not really. As usual, I will finish with a couple of bugs. Alright then, let's crack right into it, shall we? There is a new duplication glitch in town. It came live with the Still Rain DLC on July 7, as I explained in my previous news. There is also an exploit that allows players to craft or roll legendary items with no costs. Both glitches were dependent on the camp's repair all function, and that's why Bethesda changed the way it works for certain items right now with the latest hotfix. It's the quickest and wisest choice to neutralize new exploits, to simply disable the source behind it. Now, you may be wondering how comes they acted so fast. It's rare to see Bethesda working and releasing patches on a weekend. I'm not saying this is the first time, it's not. It did happen in the past once or twice. Still, it's a very rare event. If you are curious about their flash speed, then know that unlike most glitches we had in the past, this one goes way beyond just duplicating items or cheating the system in different ways. It also generates insane amounts of lag and often leads to server crashes. That's why so many players reported server issues since Still Rain went live. Reddit and Twitter got swarmed with such posts, for example. In fact, in the past 2 days, many players, including myself, were not able to play at all since servers kept spamming the server not responding errors, or they kept kicking people out, even when players were alone in their private servers. It can still happen. And that's because the server crashed. If everyone gets kicked out, it's obviously because boom, the server is no more. So you see, it was a nightmare, a chaotic situation in the form of service disruption, not directly from Bethesda's end, but generated by certain players. And that's why they acted so fast. However, as some people have been saying, the new exploits did not get fixed, not yet at least, so don't get mistaken. This hotfix is just a band-aid to buy more time. I believe Bethesda is working hard to find a solution, but it might take a while. I mean, the latest score glitch was never even addressed with the trying weapon crafting. If you still remember, Bethesda disabled the ability to craft such weapons almost 3 months ago, and until now we got no updates or fixes. Nothing. Anyway, this hotfix surely made things better. At least servers are not crashing all the time. Or so I thought. I mean, there are new reports suggesting that cheaters have already found a way around the hotfix to continue using the new exploits and duplicate items, as well as craft legendary items with no limitations, since the glitch bypasses the crafting costs. I've seen a lot of comments from the past few hours, as I have been working on this video, where players claim they are once again facing server issues, so I'm quite convinced cheaters have already found an alternative way to go around the hotfix. I mean, there must be other ways to do it, other than the ones we know, the ones made public. It's usually how it works in these cheater groups. They make one public and there's, I don't know, 1 or 2 more, which is private. If this is the case, I'm afraid server lag and crashes will continue until Bethesda finally releases a real fix. But until then, we have to wait. Don't forget, this fix is not a fix at all. It's just like a barricade which allows cheaters to go around and still reach the same goal if they know how to go around. It's how it works, sadly. Now, if you are wondering what will happen to all the cheaters, it's complicated. There are many ways to trick the system and pretend you are not cheating when you actually cheated. But what you should know here is that Bethesda is currently discussing the matter, and a new ban wave should follow in the following week or even in the following days. Moreover, as I said in my previous news, make sure to spread the word, create awareness, talk about it as much as you can to pressure Bethesda to come forward and fix this as soon as possible, because one way or the other it is affecting everyone, especially legit players who just want to play normally and they have to face all this, shitstorm, basically, service crashing, lag, duplicated items everywhere, and yeah, it's a list of problems coming from, one or two exploits. Being silent will do no good, guys, so if you can, please speak up. The more we speak about it, the more pressure we apply on them, and I think that's the key to get things fixed as soon as possible. Don't be afraid to speak up. I surely try my best to stay loyal to my own advice, even when certain people threaten to grief me for speaking up or tell me I'm no better than cheaters for using data mine assets in some of my videos. Sometimes you gotta fight for what you believe and for what you want to happen. In this case, if you want things fixed, then work towards that. It's like our civic duty as a community. It's not exactly news if I say Fallout 76 will keep getting new content and free DLCs for years to come. After all, ever since the game released, Bethesda has been saying exactly that. However, recently Bethesda has provided details on what's coming and what to expect regarding content support for the next 5 years or so. In a recent interview to NewsGeek, which we will talk about more in a bit, project lead Jeff Gardiner confessed that there is a lot coming to 76. He also said he has been road mapping for the next 2 years or so, together with Mark Tucker, the 76 design director. In another interview to The Pitt last month, Gardiner also said 76 will certainly exist in 5 years from now, nothing to worry about, but it's difficult to say or set in stone what new content or features are coming exactly. Why though, you may ask? Well, according to Gardiner and Tucker, player feedback is crucial for them. They pay attention to what players do in-game and what they say as well, which naturally requires adaptation and replanning over and over. Moreover, Tucker confirmed they do have a long-term vision for 76, but ultimately they adapt and pivot their new content ideas to player feedback, so it wouldn't be realistic to create a 5-year roadmap, for example, which makes complete sense. Well, for those who were afraid 76 might die off soon, rest assured, I don't think 76 is going anywhere anytime soon. Alright, in the same interview to NewsGeek, Bethesda has unveiled a few more details about the upcoming Expeditions system and The Pitt, the very first expedition to go live in 2022. At first, many players were afraid that expeditions would just become daily operations, version 2.0 or something alike, but that doesn't seem the case. Thankfully. According to the project lead, Jeff Gardiner, The Pitt will include unique mechanics, a really cool story, and repeatable content. The lead level design Steve also confirmed The Pitt will be story-driven with a gameplay loop, which means players will be encouraged to revisit this place over and over, most likely due to new events or daily missions. But it's too early to tell what it is exactly. Moving forward, the design director Mark Tucker said the general game direction has changed a lot since the release days, and there is now a new emphasis on branching narratives. 76 has become a very story-driven game ever since the Wastelanders went live with the NPCs, and that's the path they have been taking ever since with Still Dawn and now Still Rain, the same path they want to take with the upcoming Expeditions, by the way. Well, that's good to know. Fallout is a very lore-rich franchise, and 76 shouldn't become the exception to that just because it's an online experience, don't you think so? Something else Bethesda unveiled to NewsGeek is the fact that the Expedition system will be a solo experience. Oh yeah, that's right. Now that's a huge revelation. Until then, most of us assumed the pit would be an extension of the main map, where players would be able to roam freely and decide on their own adventures, like they have been saying that this is a new map. However, after this statement, it's not very clear if the pit will indeed become a new map extension or something more like a huge instance map. If this is a feature tailored for solo players, then in my view, it either means it's filled with new missions, the repeatable type, or it means there will be plenty of instanced locations with a key role in the upcoming content. Maybe even something like daily operations, but for solo players instead. Now, Tucker explained this decision came from the fact that 76 player base is split into two factions, kinda. Those who basically only play in teams and those who never join a team. It's the complete opposite. So far we got plenty of content for team-based experiences such as boss events, all sorts of normal and public events really, and of course daily operations. However, when it comes to solo content, there's not a lot of dedicated content, honestly, apart from the main missions and so on. As such, I think their logic here is fair and should benefit the game in the long run, since it brings more diversity, balance, and it also encourages different playstyles. But it all depends on how will they deliver this solo experience, right? Because sometimes things look really great in the paper and then we move into the game, they execute the idea and things become quite strange. Anyway, it's looking promising nonetheless. Let's keep moving. Alright, still about the expedition system, Bethesda has recently gone public about how the pit is just the beginning. It's the first of many expeditions to come in 2022 and forward. They also said they already have many other locations in mind to become new expeditions starting in 2022. The list will include new and also old locations, which can be found in previous Fallout games, I am presuming. Now that's really exciting. Cardinal confessed the 76 team has been discussing the expedition system for a very long time, and they have gone through different locations so far. In my view, this could suggest that Washington DC is another location coming to expeditions after the pit goes live, of course. How comes? Well, a few months ago, data miners discovered entire files about a new Washington DC sort of map, which resembles the DUPE circle. I even compiled everything I discovered about it at the time. Feel free to watch it if you are not sure what I'm talking about. So yeah, it seems like Bethesda has big plans to expand 76 beyond Appalachia, and that's a great thing, especially if it's going to include all sorts of new content, missions, events, lore, gear, NPCs, and so much more. Now it's time to talk about Minerva, a new vendor added with the Still Rain DLC. This NPC is a Blue Ridge Caravan member, and she sells only gold bullion plans. In fact, part of her inventory includes daily ops plans. Yes, you didn't hear me wrong, which were not tradable or sold anywhere else before this DLC, which also means players can now collect such plans without doing a single daily operation. No more. If you hate it, it's great news, don't you think? Yes, I know most of you guys hate daily ops. So does Bethesda, that's why they came up with this solution for you. Anyway, Minerva has been off since July 7, the release day. Most of you have been searching for her ever since and asking me, where is she? Where is Minerva? Well, she was nowhere. She is not a fixed vendor to start with, and to be honest with you, she has a very strange schedule. And I intend to make a video just about her because she has a lot to talk about. There's even her dynamic pool, she doesn't sell the same things all the time, it changes depending on the week. Anyway, just to make it clear, Minerva is coming to the Wasteland starting tomorrow, Monday, July 12. So make sure to search at her 3 possible spawns: the entrance of the crater, foundation, or Fort Atlas. Also keep in mind that all her plans are sold with a 25% discount, so it's probably a good idea to buy from her instead of faction vendors or even rags, since she sells stuff much cheaper, and gold is power right now in 76. You can get a lot of things with it. Use it wisely. Something else I want to share with you today is about the new gold bullion cap per character. Bethesda increased it from 5k to 10k with the Still Rain DLC, but apparently they forgot to update Smiley's gold cap. You know, Smiley is the good guy at the Wayward, which can sell you gold for caps in case you are new. And it's not working as intended because his cap is still the old one, which is 5k. Yeah, if you try to buy gold from him right now using caps, it will not work if your stored gold is above 5,000 already. I tried here, and as you can see, the system says the gold bullion max limit has been reached, when in reality it's not. I mean, I'm not even at 6k yet, so it's a bit far from the new 10k limit. This means if you wish to get gold from Smiley, you need to be below the 5k, the old limit, or he will not sell you any gold for the time being. This problem has been reported quite some times already to Bethesda, so I believe a fix should be included with the next big update. Season 5 is introducing a new sort of pet, the Cardinal bird, a very typical bird in West Virginia, and it has nothing to do with a CD Projekt Red as I first thought. I know, guys, you know more than me sometimes. It's natural, especially if you live in the US. This new floor decor can be unlocked at rank 15, but only for Fallout First members, sadly. Anyway, this bird in a cage is absolutely adorable. It even cheeps and flies around the cage a little bit, as you can see in the footage. It doesn't have a standstill animation, so at least that. I think it gives life to your camp and shelters. It's also very colorful. That red is really vivid. The not so good part is that it works like any other decor. There is no interaction possible. But hey, at least you don't have to clean it or anything like, so I guess that's a plus. Oh well, at least a real pet system should be coming later this year. Until then, enjoy your frog, your birds, and your chickens, your Brahmin, and everything we have already. Now I have a huge mind-blowing revelation to do. Aries is in fact Van Lowe from the Wild Appalachia DLC. As someone who's not tight with lore, this was a huge revelation for me. I had no idea. Anyway, how do I know this? Well, that's because the quest designer Coral has recently confirmed that yes, it is true, Aries is the same person as Van Lowe. He's supposed to be around 50 years old. And he is definitely not a ghoul, guys, as his typically human hands indicate. Definitely not a ghoul. Well, why does he wear a gas mask all the time then? I would say that's personal choice, or maybe he has some ugly scars and doesn't want to scare people, who knows. I recommend you to read the Van Lowe related lore to learn more about his character and to put the pieces together to find this mystery on your own if you are not very convinced yet. I really don't want to spoil you more than I should. Oh, and remember, sometimes small details can turn out to become full quest lines, at least in 76. Not my words, it's actually Coral's while referring to the Sheep Squatch questline. The news time is about to be over, but lastly, here's your random bug, which is a green rift at my camp. I don't know how to explain this one, guys. I don't think I have ever seen anything similar before. It looked like some sort of gas or poison coming from the water, but underneath there was nothing. The effect didn't even play under the water. Magic. Is it green magic? Actually, it reminds me of the magic in Dragon Age Inquisition, you know, the rifts, in miniature, of course. Whatever it was, it didn't hurt, so it's okay. Just another visual bug for the collection, no big deal. Well then, I hope I could keep you up to date with everything Fallout 76. I am Marta Branco, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, follow me on social media, comment below, all of these things. And a huge thanks to all my lovely supporters, as usual. I hope you are having a good one, and I will see you all very, very soon in the next one. Until then, take care, adios, bye bye!